Are you planning a visit to Prescott? Well, whether you are looking for some place to put down roots, whether you're headed into town to take part in one of our many events, or if you are just planning a brief stop to check it out, there's plenty to see and to do in everybody's hometown. In this video, I'll give you a list of 5, count them 5 activities that are must-dos if you'd really like to experience just what Prescott has to offer. So, here we go. Must-do number 1. Almost everyone who comes to Prescott starts off with a visit to Whiskey Row. That's the 1-block stretch of Montezuma Street between Gurley and Goodwin. Whiskey Row was once home to 40 saloons and was frequented by real-life Wild West figures Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Be sure to start with the Palace Restaurant and Saloon, the oldest operating bar in the state. And don't miss the Palace's famous 24-foot-long hand-carved bar that miraculously survived the fire of 1900 thanks to the patrons who helped carry it out of the building before the Palace and the rest of Whiskey Row burned to the ground. Now, if you'd like to get a unique view of Prescott's famous granite courthouse, climb the stairs next to the Palace up to Jersey Lily Saloon and step out on the open balcony, which is prime real estate during any of Prescott's major events. And if you're on the row in the evening and would like to try a little country line dancing, be sure to drop into Matt's Saloon, which is a local favorite. Now, if you'd like to take a deeper dive into Prescott's downtown history, you might want to explore the Prescott Heritage Trail. It's a self-guided tour that will take you to 25 different historic sites on the square and within walking distance of Courthouse Plaza. You can pick up a map and a guidebook at the Chamber of Commerce Visitor Center, which is located right across the street from the courthouse at 117 West Goodwin. And in the warmer months, that's May through October, guided walking tours are offered as well, free of charge, at 10 a.m. every Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. If you'd like to spend some time learning even more about Prescott's past, you have the perfect opportunity to do so without straying very far from Courthouse Plaza. First, just 2 blocks west of the courthouse is the Charlotte Hall Museum, a great place to experience a bit of Prescott's territorial history. You know, Prescott was designated the capital of the Arizona Territory in 1864, and the first governor's mansion, built that same year, is still standing on its original site at the center of the museum grounds. It's one of the few things that didn't burn down in 1900. Also on the site is the beautiful Bashford House, built in 1877, a great example of Prescott's distinctive Victorian architecture. The home, which originally stood a few blocks further east, was moved to its present site in 1974, undergoing 2 full years of restorations before opening to the public. Now, prior to being discovered by miners and settlers, the Prescott area was home to a large Native American population. To learn about the native tribes and to view one of the finest, and it is one of the finest collections of original baskets, textiles, pottery, and artifacts, just follow Gurley Street a few blocks east to North Arizona Avenue, where you'll find the Museum of Indigenous People, formerly known as the Smoke Eye Museum. It's the only museum in the greater Prescott area dedicated to Native peoples, their history, art, and culture. Now, the best part of this must-do is that you can easily take in both museums in a day, with lunch at one of Prescott's great downtown eateries in between. If getting a closer look at the area's natural beauty interests you at all, then a hike on one of Prescott's many trails is definitely a must-do. Prescott boasts over 100 miles of hiking and biking trails, from easy to technical and everything in between. The trailheads for some of the most popular trails, such as the Constellation Trail or Granite Gardens, are literally just a few minutes from downtown. There are also trails circling our local lakes, and I'll talk about those in a minute. All you'll need is a sturdy pair of shoes, water, and maybe a hiking stick. And if you came without, just stop by the Hike Shack at Montezuma and Gurley and they will fit you out. Granite Gardens Trail is a great 1-mile loop that is popular with the kids. It features some steep ups and downs, a long stairway to climb, and a granite grotto that you really have to squeeze to get through. You'll also pass a vertical rock face that is popular with climbers. Now, the Constellation Trail is a scenic 2.6-mile loop with multiple cut-throughs to the center. The trail was named not for the stars, but for a Lockheed Super Constellation that crashed on the site in 1959. The aircraft was a U.S. Army transport flying a training mission, and the 5 airmen on board sadly did not survive. A memorial to the lost airmen stands adjacent to a collection of fragments from the actual aircraft, and some who venture off-trail, they're still able to find pieces of the plane to this day. If you enjoy canoeing, kayaking, fishing, or maybe even bird watching, another Prescott must-do is a visit to one of our beautiful lakes. We have 5 of them, all within about a 10-mile radius of Courthouse Plaza. If you're not traveling with your own watercraft, rentals are available. Just reach out to my friends at Born to Be Wild Adventures. Check the video description for their information. The best thing about Prescott's lakes is the variety of settings. Lynx Lake and Goldwater Lake are both tucked deep into the ponderosa pines, while Watson Lake and Willow Lake are adjacent to Prescott's famous and much photographed granite dells. Now, the lakes are not swimmable, but they are stocked for fishing. Just remember that unless you are under the age of 10, and I believe you're probably not, a permit is required. And if you don't plan on getting out on the water, but you'd just like to enjoy the views, you can hike or bike the trails that follow the shorelines. Camping facilities are available as well in some spots. Just be sure to check well in advance, as Prescott's lakes are extremely popular. When it comes to dining, well, Prescott has many great restaurants, but if there's one, just one, that most locals will point you to as a must-do, it's a quirky little bistro along Granite Creek, just 2 blocks west of the courthouse, called El Gato Azul. El Gato Azul at 316 West Goodwin features both indoor and outdoor seating and an extensive menu of tapas, over 50 selections, perfect for sharing with friends after spending some time exploring Whiskey Row and the downtown shops. Now, in addition to tapas, the restaurant offers a full lunch menu and a full dinner menu and some great artisan cocktails. And if you'd like to check it out, I'll place a link to the menu in the video description. Now, El Gato Azul is almost always busy, so be sure to call at least a day ahead to make reservations. Ask for Karen, and then tell them the Kilted Realtor sent you. So there you have it, 5 of Prescott's most popular must-do activities. I have to say, though, that these just scratch the surface. There is almost always something special going on here in town, and that said, it's a good idea to check the City of Prescott's events calendar before you plan your visit. The Whiskey Off-Road Bike Race, the Whiskey Road Marathon, the Frontier Days Rodeo, and other major events bring thousands of visitors to Prescott, and it can make finding accommodations during those times a challenge. My name is Aaron Matthew, and I'm a real estate agent with the Pareja Group, one of the top real estate teams right here in downtown Prescott. If you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about real estate, don't hesitate to reach out. You'll find my contact information in the video description, and if you enjoyed this video, please like, please comment, and subscribe to my channel, and tap that notification bell so you won't miss out when I post more Prescott-related content. As always, thank you so much for taking the time to watch. Cheers.